Have you ever wondered where the spooky and fun traditions of Halloween come from? The story begins over 2,000 years ago with the ancient Celts. For them, the year ended with the harvest season, and the arrival of the cold, dark winter was imminent. This time was marked by a festival known as Samhain, celebrated on the night before their new year, which fell on November 1st. The Celts held a deep belief that during Samhain, the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead became thin and permeable. They believed that the spirits of the deceased returned to Earth, causing trouble and damaging crops. But it wasn't all gloom and doom. The Celts also believed that the presence of these otherworldly spirits helped their druids or priests make predictions about the future. So the festival of Samhain is where our Halloween tradition started. But how did it evolve into the celebration we know today? As centuries passed, Halloween underwent many changes, influenced by different cultures and religions. When the Romans conquered Celtic lands around the 1st century AD, they brought along their own traditions, weaving them seamlessly into the fabric of Samhain. Two such festivals were Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans traditionally commemorated the passing of the dead, and a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. The apple, a symbol of Pomona, might explain the tradition of bobbing for apples on Halloween. As Christianity spread through the Celtic lands, it left its mark on the festival. In the 7th century, Pope Boniface IV established All Saints' Day, a time to honor saints and martyrs, on November 1st. This was followed by All Souls' Day on November 2nd, a day for praying for the souls of the dead. These celebrations were also referred to as All Hallows or All Hallowmas. The night before, the traditional night of Samhain began to be called All Hallows Even, and eventually Halloween. The journey of Halloween to the New World was a fascinating one. It was largely carried over by Irish immigrants fleeing the potato famine in the mid-19th century. Initially, Halloween was more about community and harvest celebrations than about ghosts and witchcraft. It was an opportunity for neighbors to share stories of the dead, tell each other's fortunes, dance, and sing. Over time, Halloween in America morphed into a community-centered holiday. Children would go door to door asking for food or money, a practice that eventually became today's trick-or-treat tradition. Halloween parties for both children and adults became common, focusing on games, foods of the season, and festive costumes. From ancient Celtic festival to a widely celebrated community holiday, Halloween has a rich and fascinating history. As we've seen, Halloween is more than just costumes and candy. It's a rich tapestry woven through time, originating from the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, where people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. As it journeyed through the ages, it was touched by various cultures and influences. From the Romans with their harvest festival, Feralia, to the Christian church which folded it into All Saints' Day, the holiday has evolved, taking on different shapes and forms. Yet it never lost its core essence of remembering the departed and celebrating the cycle of life and death. When it arrived on the shores of America, it was transformed into a community celebration, marking the transition from summer to winter. It retained its ancient roots while embracing new traditions like trick-or-treating and pumpkin carving. So the next time you carve a pumpkin or don a costume, remember the centuries of tradition that have shaped Halloween into the holiday we enjoy today.